Good evening, this is Lynx. So, we as a species in the modern age have gotten in the habit of expecting everything very quickly. A pizza in 30 minutes. We get people get degrees, in a couple of months. Even this whole spiritual thing where you go to a weekend retreat and now you're a master in 2 days and you're certified. And I get people all the time coming to me and they're like, well, do you certify people? And I'm like, well, I'm an individual who came out of academia, and I see after almost a decade as a college professor, I see very little value in certifications, though I know people require them. But people want fast. They want to be a master fast. They want to learn fast. And it has some very bad side effects to it. For example, in this particular arena, I see people all the time who want to learn how to read cards quickly. And while you can, I can usually, when I'm teaching someone, I can usually get them starting to read right away. It still takes time to develop your abilities, to connect with your intuition, to undo bad habits that you've built. And we try to take shortcuts. And this is a big one that I get all the time. People will do drugs to try to open up their spiritual faculties, and then things will open up very quickly, and then they won't know what to do with them. And then they'll come to me and they're like, what do I do? I'm freaking out. And it's like, I don't know, you got your wish. You wanted everything to open fast, and now it did. Now the gates are open. Usually when things happen that quickly, it's unstable, and it's a curse, and it's likely to collapse. So while people are looking to be a weekend master, people have spent years, we spend years building up bad habits. We enslave ourselves to jobs and other people that subvert our true selves. We cultivate habits that are bad for our bodies and minds. We become completely disconnected from our intuition, and then we want someone to come along, magically wave a wand and make it instant. Now we're an instant master, and we can teach and we can teach others, and we can counsel others. Well, I'm going to warn against that. If you find yourself just starting out with this and then going, okay, well, now I'm going to set myself up as a teacher and a master, think twice about that, because that usually comes with a curse. If you've spent your whole life doing these other things and alienating yourself from yourself, what experience are you going to draw from to help people out with this stuff? There is this erroneous belief out there that if you pick up the cards and you're psychic, suddenly you're omniscient and you have all the right decisions for everyone to make, or you just connect to the higher realms and they tell you exactly what you need. I've been doing this for a very long time, and let me tell you, there is no quick fix answer for things for people. It takes, for everything you get, there is a price that you pay, and there is something that you must give. There is a value for value exchange that must happen. So while people are wanting to develop very quickly, you can learn how to read these rather quickly, but it takes practice, it takes time for things to develop, for things to grow, for things to become mature, for seeds to become mature. So this whole habit that people have of how can I become a master quickly? How can I today be working in advertising and tomorrow be a spiritual master? If it does work that way, there's a crash coming. I'm going to warn you. So think about it. If you do this stuff, as you do this stuff, spend less time worrying about fast and more time worrying about How do I do it efficiently? How do I gain an understanding of how this stuff works? What's the processes? Whatever it is you're doing. If things open up very quickly and you become enlightened, quote unquote, very quickly, you don't know how you got there, and you're probably not going to stay there for long. It's like all those people who win the lottery. They get rich really fast, and if you look at the statistics, those people who won the lottery or a big prize, they usually end up a year or so later worse off than they were before, even more broke than they were before. They lose everything, and I'd like to suggest that same thing with this. Be careful about wanting to learn and expecting to learn, and everything opened up so fast, it came. I know there's a lot of people out there that will tell you that it does. And if that's your choice, that's your choice. But I thought it might be a good idea from someone who's done this for a very long time, to give you, from my own experience, if it comes fast, it usually doesn't have a lot of a very strong foundation. And then what's likely to come because of it is this little one right here. Actually, it's not little. The collapse will come of the foundation that is not strong. So take your time in any kind of spiritual development or development in any kind of psychic ability, intuitive faculties, even energy work. Take the time to learn what's really going on, and take the time to develop, because you owe it to yourself. If you really want the healing and the development and all that stuff to take place, and to become stronger and to gain the power, then take the time to do it step by step, so that you have a strong foundation, and then you really understand what is going on. These fast track approaches, well, I took some drugs this weekend, now I'm enlightened, they usually come with a lot of problems. And I'll tell you, I have people come to me all the time with the problems. So just think about it. And as always, I'm wishing you success and good fortune in all that you do. And if you'd like a reading or to register for an online class, 779-302-8009. I have a class in tarot, a class in playing cards, a class in crystal ball reading, a class in a Mexican loteria, and a class in Lenormand. And all of these, I get you reading pretty quickly, but I also give you the steps that you need and the processes that you need to develop very strongly, and to have the basis for practicing in a way that helps you to develop in a very strong way. So consider that, follow your path, and do so smartly.